Bring your own devices is a big one. A lot of businesses now they use bring your own devices without them even knowing the term bring your own devices. They've extended their reach onto obviously to home networks, as Stuart was saying, and even into home computers and home printers and even all these kind of devices because it wasn't okay, let's plan this COVID thing. It really did hit quickly, and it's not just let's shut down the business before we kind of can get our strategy ready and get all our workers working at home correctly. No, it was just work at home. We're starting to work at home next week. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of the businesses have seen this. But there was some consultation with some of the bigger businesses that we deal with, but obviously we had to go back and consult and obviously to identify to some of these other older businesses as well that didn't come and see us as well. So I think it's an important one. So I guess to be able to, what I'm trying to say to how do you kind of to obviously to get obviously to avoid some of these large hardware expenses is to use some of the you bring your own devices, but to have a methodology and have a secure way of using them as well. And there's obviously ways with different types of software, Century Bay Client, obviously, and different other types of software, yeah, and obviously policies you can monitor these things as well.
I was just going to back up what Steve said. I've got the picture. I think Stu mentioned it earlier that people were, flocking out of the CBD with their hardware with them and in droves back in March. And I think you couldn't see the forest through the trees then. But there is time on your side. You can just take a step back and use common sense. There are other providers out there, other than having to just you know have a whole expense on large hardware to mitigate against these vulnerabilities. Whether we like it or not, flexibility and remote working and BYOD is here to stay, and there are other avenues that you can secure though that BYOD moving forward.